Hello friends, welcome to another video from C Field Academy where we learn together from each other. Today's topic of discussion is binary tree traversals, where we'll see various approaches to traverse in a binary tree. Namely, they are preorder traversal, postorder traversal, and inorder traversal. So friends, let's get started. So what is a binary tree? A binary tree is a tree where each node can have at most two children. Sometimes we also call those children as left child and right child. And at max they can have two children. They may have one children or no children. So what is a tree traversal? Tree traversal is a process of visiting all nodes in a tree in such a way using some strategy or using some algorithm. So the popular known strategies of binary tree are preorder, inorder, and postorder traversal. So we'll see each of them one by one, um, and yeah, there you go. So here is a general diagram of how preorder, inorder, and postorder traversal works. So generally these traversals are all recursive in nature, which means they apply to every node. So let's say we are visiting a node. Let's first start with the preorder traversal. So let's say we have to visit a node 1. Let's say while visiting our tree we reached some point where we came to node 1. So the preorder traversal strategy is first visit the root, or first visit the current node, then visit the left subtree, and then the right subtree, and do that recursively for each node. Inorder traversal strategy is to visit the left subtree first, then the right subtree, left subtree first, then the root, and then the right subtree. So even though we traverse through the root, or we have reached to somehow in the tree while traversing we reached node 2, but we will not visit 2. We will visit its left subtree first, then the node, and then the right subtree. Similarly, the third approach is the postorder, which you might have already guessed by now, is where we visit the current node at the last. We visit the left subtree first, then the right subtree, and at last the node. So let's see all these three strategies using an example. So here is a tree we are given, where we have a node A as the root, we have BC at the second level, and about 4 nodes at the third level, and 4 nodes at the last level. So we are first doing preorder strategy, preorder traversal. So as we discussed already, we start from the root node, first root node we start, then we'll start from the root node, which we do in all the strategies, but we'll visit the current node first, then the left subtree recursively, and finally the right subtree recursively. So here is an example. We'll first reach node A, which means we will start and also visit, which means if we are to output or whatever operation we have to perform, we would perform on the vertex A. Then we'll go to its left subtree, which means the left subtree again will have a node root B, which is B in our case. So we'll visit and perform whatever operation we have to perform on it, and we repeat the same process for all the other nodes till the left subtree of A is completed. Then we visit the right subtree of node A, and we'll repeat the same process. So let's see how this visit looks like by applying it to the tree here. So as we already discussed, first we start from A. In fact, we output node A or perform whatever operation we have to do on node A. Then we will go to its left subtree. The left subtree has about 5 nodes here, so when we are covering the left subtree, we have to again visit its root node first, which means we cover B. Now we have to cover B's left child or left subtree, which is D in our case, and here this is where our left search ends, because D does not have a left child or a right child, and we'll again return back to B. And once we return back to B, now B's left tree is complete. Now B's right tree has to be covered, so we come to the B's right tree, but since this is also a subtree, we'll apply the same recursive strategy again, which means we'll first visit the root node, which is E. So E is next covered, so E is covered at fourth step, and then we visit E's left child at 5th step, E's right child at the 6th step, and then we'll again return back to E. So E and its subtrees are complete. We'll return back to B. B's left tree and right subtrees are complete, which means we'll return to A now. If you notice A, the left subtree of A is covered. Now we go to the right subtree of A, and right subtree of A has 5 nodes, C, F, G, J, K, and we'll apply the preorder strategy again, which means we'll first cover the root node C. So root node C becomes our 7th node to be output. We then cover its left subtree, which is just F, and output it. Then we will come back to root node 7 and cover its right subtree, which has G, J, and K. Applying the same strategy again, we cover node G and output it, and then G's left child, and finally G's right child. So notice we have covered all the nodes. So this is the final output of the order or of the traversal that we have, which is A, B, D, E, H, I, C, F, G, J, K. Cool. I hope this example helped understand the traversal strategy a little bit better. Then we'll move on to the next strategy, which is Inorder traversal. So again, the process of starting is the same. We start from the root node, but we will not visit the root node first. We'll first visit its left subtree, then the node, and then the right subtree. So we'll start at vertex A. We'll visit the left subtree of A. A is not visited yet, and we will keep visiting the left subtrees of recursively till we are done with the left subtree. Then we will visit the root node, and which means then we will visit the node A, and then we'll move to the right subtree and then apply the process recursively. So let's apply it to the tree here. So there we go. So we start at vertex A, but we cannot visit A because we have to first cover its left subtree, which has 5 nodes. Similarly, the left subtree we start at B, but we won't cover B, but we will move to its left subtree, which is D. Now notice D doesn't have any more left subtree, so we will cover D now, and we will output D first. So D is the first node to be covered. D doesn't have a right subtree, so we'll move back to B. Now B's left subtree is complete, so now we can visit B. So we visit B and perform whatever operations we have to. So B is the second node to be output. Now the turn is B's right tree, which is E, H, and I. So E, H, and I, we apply the same strategy there. So E is the root of that tree, but we won't cover E. We'll move to its left subtree first, which is H. In fact, H doesn't have any left subtree, so we'll cover H first. Then H doesn't have a right subtree as well. Once H is done, which is our third node to be output, we now return back to E. Now E's left subtree is covered, so we can cover E, so we output E. Then we move to its right subtree, which is just I, so we'll cover I, which is the 5th node to be output. Then we'll return back to E, and we'll again return back to B. Now notice E's left subtree, right subtree is covered, B's left subtree, right subtree is covered, and now we'll return back to A. So this is the time to cover A, because A's left subtree is completely covered. So A is the sixth node to be output. Now we move to the right tree of A, right subtree of A, and we apply the same in-order strategy. So right subtree of A starts at C, but we won't cover C. We'll first cover its left subtree, which is just F. So we'll cover F. F is the seventh node to be output. F doesn't have any children, no left subtree or right subtree. So we return back to C, and then we cover C because C's left subtree is covered. So C is the eighth node. And now since C's left subtree is covered and C is also covered, we can move to C's right subtree, which is G, J and K. So G, J and K is another subtree, and we start at its root, which is G. But since this is in order traversal, we'll first go to its left subtree, which is J. J doesn't have a left child, so we'll cover J first, which means J is output at 9. J doesn't have a right child, so we will go back to its parent, which is G, and G now has its left subtree covered, so we'll cover G, which is 10, and then we'll go to the G's right child, which is just K. We cover K, which is our last node to be output 11, and so we are done now. So this is the final output of the in order traversal, which is D, B, H, E, I, A, F, C, J, G, K. Cool. So the last one, post order traversal. So post order traversal also we start from the root, but here we cover the root node or the current node at the end. We first cover it the left subtree, then we'll cover the right subtree, and then finally the current node. So let's see with an example how it looks like. So we start at root vertex A, we visit the left subtree of A, and we recursively visit the left subtrees of the root nodes that we figure it out, and we complete the left subtree. Now we go to the right subtree of A and recursively complete visiting all its nodes. And once we have visited the left subtree of A and right subtree of A, we finally visit vertex A. So vertex A is output at the last. So let's apply it to the tree that we have here over here. So we start at A, and this is our left subtree of A. Now this left subtree is again a tree, so we have to apply the same strategy recursively, which means we start at B and we will cover its left subtree, which is D. Now D is also a binary tree, but D doesn't have any left child or a right child, so we will cover D first. So D is our first node to be covered, and then we return back to B. Now for node B, the left subtree is covered, but the right subtree is not covered, hence we will not cover B yet. So we'll first cover B's right subtree, which is E, H and I. Again we start at node E, but then we'll first cover E's left child, which is H. So H is our second node to be output. We come back to E and cover its right child, which is the third node to be output. Finally E has its left and right child covered, so we'll cover A as well, E as well, which is the fourth node to be complete, and then we'll return back to B. Now B's left subtree and right subtree is complete, so we'll visit B now. We can visit B now. B is the fifth node to be covered. So coming back, we'll return to A, but notice A's right child is right subtree is not yet covered, so we cannot cover A. We'll go to its right subtree first, and we'll apply the same post order strategy to the subtree. We'll start at C, and then we'll move to C's left child, left subtree, which is F. And F doesn't have any left subtree, nor it has right subtree, so we can visit F now. F will be the sixth node to be output. So we'll return back to C. In fact, C's left subtree is covered, but right subtree is not yet covered, so we'll cover the right subtree of C next, which is G, J and K. Recursively applying, we will then go to node G and cover its left subtree, which is J. So J is our seventh node to be output, and we'll return back to G. We'll then cover G's right subtree, which is K, and output K as our 8th node. Now we'll return back to G, and we can now cover G because its left subtree and right subtree is covered. So G is the 9th node to be output. We'll return back to node C. Now notice for C also left subtree and right subtree is covered. So we will next cover our output C, which is our 10th node. Finally, at last we reach node A after covering A's left subtree and right subtree. So A will be the final node to be covered. So the final output is DHIE BFJKGCA. Cool. So before we end, here is an exercise for you. So we have given two trees, tree 1 and tree 2, which do not look normal. They are also called as skew trees. So the exercise is to apply all the three traversals we learned: pre-order, in-order, and post-order on these two trees. So guys, make sure you comment this video with the answers, and I'll definitely look at it. I hope this video covered the traversals and made them pretty clear. Finally, thanks again for watching the video, and please make sure to like, share, and subscribe our channel. Bye bye till the next video. See you guys. Bye.